All right, guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, you enjoy what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button as I do make a daily gaming news video. So let's start off by talking about the Game Awards and Xbox's presence there. The Game Awards are coming up on December 7th, so just around the corner. And as we know, the main reason people do watch the Game Awards are for the world premieres and the new game announcements. Now, we did talk about yesterday how they are going away with the world premiere branding, so it will be interesting to see how they replace this. There will still be announcements for games, but what is the branding they're going to go with? We're not sure yet. And when it comes to this show, Xbox usually has a presence there. If you remember, they announced the Xbox Series X a couple of years ago at the Game Awards show. And in general, the history of the Game Awards, they've had some major announcements. So I'm expecting nothing different. I'm expecting to get some big announcements here and there, some smaller announcements, and then just to see a bunch of games throughout the show. That's really, like I said, the main reason I'm watching, the main reason most people do watch the show. And Xbox now is teasing that they are going to have important announcements at the show on December 7th. This is what they sent out as promotional material, people's emails, and they were showing it up on social media. And they say here, celebrate the best games of the year and the big winners live at the Game Awards on the 7th of December at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, along with important announcements and other Xbox news that you don't want to miss. So they're right there. They're clearly telling people that if you're an Xbox fan, you're going to want to tune into the show to see what's in store for the future of Xbox and to see some announcements that people will be talking about. Now, who knows? We have no idea what this is going to be. We've seen predictions out there that maybe we'll finally see Gear 6. Maybe there will be Indiana Jones. Who knows? Maybe something crazy like Everwild will show up. You never know. There's so many first-party games out there. I would love to see maybe even Perfect Dark. That would be super cool. But they are going to have some sort of announcement. And also, it may be hardware in some form or another. We've seen the leaks of the digital Xbox Series X. So they announced the OG Xbox Series X at the Game Awards show. Why wouldn't they announce the digital one at this year's show? So maybe that's something that they will have there. So I'm really looking forward to it. There may be even some major Game Pass announcements, bringing in Activision Blizzard games into the service, probably backwards compatibility or older games. Nothing brand new yet, but I'm excited to see what they do have in store. This has increased my hype a little bit for the show itself. And when it comes to the Game Awards and Xbox's presence, there's definitely a debate right now going on because of the whole Xbox tax thing. Xbox, the community and fans believe that Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards snubbed Xbox once again, and without a Game of the Year nomination for any of the games, Starfield and Hi-Fi Rush. You guys know my take on this. Out of all the games Xbox put out this year, I think Hi-Fi Rush is easily the most deservingly of a Game of the Year nomination. It was my favorite, but just in general, essentially a perfect game on release, very creative, and it took everybody by surprise and unanimously across the board. It got glowing reviews. So the thing with Starfield, it wasn't unanimous across the board from critics, whether you want to believe there was a major bias in that or not. So I think Hi-Fi Rush should have been in the Game of the Year nomination, but it still got a bunch of nominations for everything else. So people are kind of upset about that, and they're thinking Xbox should just boycott the Game Awards and not show up and kind of stick it to Jeff Keighley. And I don't believe that would be the right move. I think what Xbox is doing here is the correct move. And I'll tell you why. The Game Awards is going to have a ton of people watching. It's going to have a ton of casual gamers watching. It's going to have people that don't follow the industry every single day. Believe it or not, there are still tons of people that don't understand the value of Game Pass. They don't understand the amount of first-party games Xbox has. And if they have an opportunity to step up and show the world of people that don't know what's going on right now in the industry, that Xbox has completely transformed themselves from the Xbox One generation. And right now, I would say it is the strongest in terms of games output that we are going to be getting going forward. They have to take advantage of that. So I think it's a good move of showing up at the Game Awards to announce some stuff and just be there and have a presence when it'll probably be a bigger presence than the other major competitions out there. So excited to see what they are going to be having. Now, when it comes to Xbox, as we know, Sarah Bond loves to tease stuff. She loves to go on Twitter and just have these cryptic tweets. And she, I believe, knows what she's doing. It gets people talking, gets people stirring up. Just posting a picture of the Xbox 360 logo is going to have a ton of people talking, including myself. So she posted this up yesterday, and people are wondering, why does she randomly post an Xbox 360 title? The chatter and the rumor right now is, Are they bringing backwards compatibility back? We know that they did shut down the backwards compatibility program for a variety of reasons. I was very disappointed when that happened. One of my favorite features on the Xbox Series X is the backwards compatibility, and getting 360 games in there I thought was awesome. I was hoping they would continue to just work on that program, go out there, deal with all of the licensing issues and get more games into the program, but they did not do that and they turned it off. Now, maybe she's hinting that the program will be back up and coming, because I believe when they did close the program, they didn't completely close the door on it. They just said right now there will be no more games coming to backwards compatibility. So maybe she's hinting of that. Maybe that's going to be one of the announcements at the Game Awards. The other thing I can think of is that they are really going to start ramping up and get ready for dropping a ton of backwards compatible Xbox 360 games from Activision Blizzard now into Game Pass, because I mean they own it, so they don't got to deal with all of the licensing and publishing stuff with a separate company. So that could be what she's hinting at, or she literally could just be posting the Xbox 360 logo because it's her favorite logo. It's my favorite Xbox logo. It'd be cool if they went back to this, maybe with a slight variation, but I always have loved the Xbox 360 branding. So keep your eyes out on that. Could be nothing. We've seen what she's done with the word games that so far have ended up being nothing. We've seen her post pictures of the Sega buildings on vacation and stuff, which had a lot of people talking. But as of right now, all of this essentially is just her kind of teasing the Xbox fans. Now, when it comes to the Xbox Series X and S, we know that the X has those pretty cool magnetic wraps that just spruce up your console, make it look better. You had the Starfield one. There was also some other colors out there that came out for it. But people have been waiting on the Xbox Series S. And I think, why haven't they brought an Xbox Series S wrap to it? I think it'd be just as good as a Series X. And I mean, you're getting a much cheaper console. You'll probably have a little bit more money to spare there to get a wrap as well. But Xbox hasn't released anything official for it. But if you are really looking for a wrap for your Xbox Series S, there is a company that has actually been creating some, and specifically here creating a Starfield Xbox Series S wrap. So this is from the UK-based company Extreme Consoles. They're in the process of making the wraps for the Xbox Series S. And right now, as you can see, some of the colors that they are going with, very similar to what the Xbox Series X ones are like. And they also have shown off here the Starfield Xbox Series S wrap. So keep your eyes out here for Extreme Consoles. And if you're looking to make your Series S look cooler, this may be the way to go. I wonder if Xbox is ever going to release official ones. I feel like it's a no-brainer, especially if the Series X ones were popular. Obviously, we don't know the sales of those, but I'm assuming they did decently well. You saw a lot of people posting the Starfield ones, so I'm hoping that they do eventually release official ones for the S. And I also hope going forward, Xbox releases a wrap for a ton of their first-party games that do come out, because I think that will be very popular, especially for the more popular ones that when they are releasing the games that people are very, very excited for. I can see that really, really taking off. So let's jump over here and let's talk about another announcement with a partnership, but this is not with Xbox. This is with PlayStation. PlayStation announced a brand new partnership here with this company here, NC Soft. Here are the types of games that they make: massively online multiplayer games, MMOs, stuff like that, right? And games as a service, stuff that PlayStation does not have anything of, and we know that they are moving over to create more of those games because they need to have other revenue streams other than their one and done first party games, the games that they spend so many millions of dollars to produce, because when they do come out, I mean, they are extremely high quality, but that margin that they have, that operating profit, is becoming very, very slim, and they have to find ways to make more money. How they're going to do that? Games as a service, subscription, expanding out their ecosystem to reach a broader range of people, putting their games more on PC and mobile and all that type of stuff. Essentially what Xbox has been doing now for very well too for the last couple of years. So PlayStation has come out and they've officially announced a strategic partnership. And what's interesting, as we know, Jim Ryan is still at PlayStation. He retires in March of 2024. When after that, Hiroki Totoki is going to be taking over for him. Now, first of all, here is what NCSoft, the president and CEO of NCSoft, says here: this partnership with SIE is the beginning of our efforts to build various synergies together, utilizing both companies' core competencies, technological capabilities, and expertise. continues and says, we will deliver a new and enjoyable experience to our audience across and beyond genres and regions. And then Jim Ryan says this: partnering with NCSoft advances our strategy to expand beyond console and broaden PlayStation's reach to a wider audience. So right there, that is the key. If you're a PlayStation fan and you're wondering what is to come from PlayStation, the biggest change, the pivot that they are on right now is to expand past console exclusivity, expand past releasing their major first party games only on the PlayStation console. And this is just the beginning. They're going to continue to make games, partner with companies, even with their first party stuff, and they're going to continue to release these games to a broader audience. They just absolutely have to, with the amount it's costing now to develop these games. And we are going to see various, I think, partnerships like this from PlayStation. We're going to hopefully hear more about games as a service, games that they are working on, and where those games are going to be releasing. I'm guessing they're going to be releasing on PC for sure, day and date, and maybe on other platforms as well, just to be able to get more people into the PlayStation ecosystem. Now, one of the biggest games as a service games people are waiting for is Naughty Dog's The Last of Us game, the multiplayer game, not officially called Factions, but that's just what everybody calls it. And there's been conflicting information. They've come out and said, or there's been rumors that it's on ice. And then that's kind of been debunked by Naughty Dog themselves, that they're still actually working on it. And now we have an article here from Forbes that says that there's been no comments about Factions. And I have to disable my ad blocker, but I will pull up this article. So here it is. This is from Forbes. It says Naughty Dog has no comment on The Last of Us Factions in development since 2020. And specifically, this was from Neil Druckmann, who was asked about what is going on here. It says, now Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann has a new comment when asked about the game, and that is no comment. In an interview with EW, they asked about both Factions and the potential of The Last of Us Part 3, and Druckmann says no update. He says, The Last of Us is obviously a world I love deeply and know our studio and fans do as well, but I have no comment at this moment on the series' future beyond our focus on The Last of Us 2 Remastered. We have other projects in the works at Naughty Dog. So at first, my initial thought when everybody was saying it was on ice was that it could be canceled, but the reality is they need to get these games as a service games out there, and they've already put a bunch of resources and time into this game. I feel like they're going to push through and make sure that this multiplayer game does get released, because it is one of their most popular, if not their most popular IPs. And they know that no matter what, even if this is delayed another year or a year and a half or whatever, people are going to go out and buy and play that game, specifically, at least within their fan base. So they want to get something out with games as a service. And if they make something that is fun, they will have a decent revenue stream, I think, because the original Factions was a game that was enjoyed. But now that he can't comment on anything other than The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, another game that was announced after Factions, that a game that people thought was going to come with the original The Last of Us Part 2, I'm a little more skeptical as to what exactly is going on. I mean, you think you could just come out and say, yeah, we are still working on this game. It is not dead. Just anything. I'm sure he's seen the reports about it being on ice. I'm sure he has seen all of the negativity towards not hearing anything about it. The fear from the fans that this game isn't going to be coming out. Could have said something, but didn't say a single thing, just really no update. So that is very, very curious to me. I have no idea now if this game is going to come out and if they are just going to be shifting over to a brand new project, taking those resources from Factions and just putting it into something new, maybe a new Uncharted, or hopefully, I mean, I hope it's a new IP of some sort. I hope it's a new game that people haven't heard of and it's not another remaster, but we'll wait and see. Maybe he doesn't say anything now because maybe at the Game Awards, they're going to have some sort of crazy, surprising announcement and maybe show it off. You never know. But yeah, right now, it doesn't seem too good right now if you're waiting for this Factions multiplayer game to come out. Okay, let's talk about Skull and Bones, because this is one that I think it's wild that Ubisoft is pushing through and still releasing it. I don't know how successful it's going to be. They've delayed this game. This is a multiplayer pirates game, and I've played the beta way back, and it was decent. It was pretty cool. I saw what they were going for, and I think that there could be a good game out of this. It's just because it's been delayed so long, and for a lot of people, it's already kind of DOA in their mind. I wonder how well it's going to do. But now, at least, if you were waiting for Skull and Bones, it looks like there is a release date, and that release date is going to be February 2024. It says here, following 6 delays, which is insane, Insider Gaming has learned that Skull and Bones has finally got a release date of February 16th, 2024. The information follows an official announcement from Ubisoft in October that the game has a release window set for Q4 fiscal year 23-24. And last week, Daryl Long, who will be moving to Toronto to become managing director, confirmed that the game will ship before the end of the fiscal year. So there you have it. Right now, if you are interested in it, pre-orders for the game are live for 49 or 50 pounds. So whatever that translates into US dollars, or wherever you live, that's how much it's going for. So it's not a full price game, which I think could entice people to want to check it out, knowing that the entry is not as expensive, and they may get some enjoyment out of it for a couple of hours here and there. But right now, it is looking that it is coming out in 2024, and this game, it only has a few more months for you to wait if you are looking forward to it. I will probably end up just checking it out to see what the final product was, and hopefully be surprised that after 6 delays, they actually gave us a game that is worth playing. Now, the Embracer Group, as we know, has been terrible since they've been starting to purchase everything. They have really gone in and been a ball of destruction across the gaming industry. Failure after failure, layoffs after layoffs, really trying to reduce their debt. I believe they did not care at all about gaming. They just went out and purchased whatever they could, and then realized after the fact that maybe that wasn't a good idea. And then they laid off countless people, and it's just been really bad. And we have some more of this happening. As this says, sources that Embracer lays off 50 at Chorus developer Fish Labs. And I haven't played Chorus, but I do remember it being very critically acclaimed, and a lot of people love this game. And even with that, there are now layoffs from this studio. Specifically, it says here on Tuesday, Embracer CEO Lars Wingfors told staff that around 50 people at the Hamburg-based studio will be laid off. And this is what sources had told VGC, the exec claiming a lack of approval and financing. So not even really looking at what they released in Chorus and that being a good game, just lack of approval and financing. They say for an in-development project, left it with no other choice. So they had a game in development that's going to be having layoffs, and they had to, I guess, either the game's going to be canceled, or they had to lay people off so that game can finally be released and them have a better profit margin. It says here, we do have an update that PlayOn has confirmed the story, and there's going to be restructurings at Fish Labs, and it's going to impact around 50 positions. They say, despite exhaustive efforts to avoid the downsizing, the lack of approval and therefore financing for the studio's unannounced project, also referred to as Project Black, has made this step unavoidable. So it looks like that game is still going to be getting worked on. They say the remaining team will continue to work on the existing co-development projects in partnership with our other PlayOn and Embracer Group studios. We understand the profound impact of this decision on our talented team at Fish Labs and are committed to handling this transition with the utmost respect and care. To support those affected, PlayOn is committed to providing comprehensive support, including severance packages, as well as help with career transition services. So there you have it. I mean, this is a studio that was founded in 2004 and best known for Chorus as well as Galaxy of Fire series on mobile, both games that I haven't played. But they also worked on the Nintendo Switch ports of Saints Row the Third and Saints Row 4 and the Xbox port for Valheim. So I feel like there's a lot of talents at the studio. They're going to be able to find jobs, but it's just another negative story here from Embracer. When is this going to end from them? And are they going to end up selling off studios that are going to be up for grabs for Xbox, for PlayStation, and for other competitors out of that would want to buy them? And it doesn't end there, because something that we've talked about previously has to do with Free Radical Design. And this was so exciting when they had announced this. They were bringing back Time Splitters with Free Radical Design. And now it looks like that isn't going to be happening, as the Time Splitter studio Free Radical Design, they're facing the closure before Christmas. And this is specifically what the Embracer Group is saying. They say, as we move through the consultation process and face the potential closure of Free Radical Design on the 11th of December 2023, I want to express my gratitude for your commitment and the remarkable work you've done and still keep doing. This is a challenging time for all of us, but especially for you. And our focus is to support you as much as we can during this transition. So it looks like it's not good news for Radical, and definitely not good news for Time Splitters. I wonder what will happen to this IP. I wonder what will happen to the ability for this game to be coming back. I think a lot of people would love to see this game come back. Hopefully, Embracer just sells this off and somebody takes the reins and does remake this. So I will end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.